Miss Mavis Archibald White. She's our divisional fire officer. She's in charge of the whole Nevis division. So just wanted to have a little chit chat with her regarding, the current events and the situations, that Nevis are experiencing and the way forward for Nevis.
All right.
So, briefly, Madam DFO, you can just, give us the listening audience all around the world, regionally and internationally, let us know about what's going on in Nevis.
Well, with your permission, I would prefer if we do it like a question and answer segment, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
That way we can hit certain points and expound on those points. If that's okay with you, Ms. White? Ms. White? Sorry?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, so let's get our conversation off to us that. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a concern or a question that you would like to ask, you can call in. The line is open. That's 465-2555 and 718-577-2916 for those of you in the United States area. My first question to you, Ms. Wyatt, is what are the most common types of emergencies you respond to in your district?
What are the most common type of emergencies? Now, that would be fire across the board. Whether it is a house fire, a car fire, Mr. Clark would like something and it got out of control. Those are some of the emergencies that we deal with on a day-to-day.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. We have been talking about the geography and the layout of our districts here in St. Kitts. What about in Nevis? The development, has it played a role in affecting your response time?
I would say yes, to some extent, yes. Albeit the roads are better, but persons are now building houses way on an incline where it's more difficult to get to.
Do you have anything in place just in case for those areas? Of course, I know that you've probably outlined these areas and said to yourself, okay, these are problematic areas. Have you put anything in place to say, well, if we do have a fire here, how are you going to deal with it?
What we did, though, is to contact Water Department for one to install more fire hydrants. Because one of the things happen in areas where there are not much fire hydrants, you would have to leave and go to a fire hydrant. And that in itself would either cause the fire to spread, flare up if it's down, and that is problematic for us. So fire hydrants in those areas would be the better plan. We have to go, and so it might as well that we install fire hydrants in those areas.
Are there any other unique challenges that you would like to address or highlight that's in your district?
Yes, and one of those challenges would be communication with some agencies. For whatever reason, fire department is left out of something until something happens. Now, let's say we have an activity this evening. All of the other entities were informed except fire. Now, let us use the example of fireworks. Everybody would be informed, but fire would be left out until that fireworks turned to something else. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I just want them to let us know, to invite us into these conversations. Right. Now, there is an engagement that is coming up shortly, and I was not informed about that via the organizers. Fire was left out. For whatever reason, fire was left out. But in communication with another person, that is how I found out that they was having this activity in Nevis. And that is really one of the issues for us. If we don't know, we can't assist. Let us know, and so we will be able to equip ourselves and be prepared for any eventuality.
Right. Versus getting the backlash that, this event went down and why fire wasn't there, correct?
And fire was not there, yeah.
But let me ask you this now. You're now aware of the activity. What's the next step going forward?
Well, I am going to tag along with them. They didn't invite me, but I'm going to show up.
Right. And the law permits that for you to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just making sure that, they can't say, well, hey, we didn't invite you. You can't be here. The law supersedes that.
Yes.
All right.
We're talking about fire. We're talking about Nevis. I'm saying it's a Nevis and a whole.
All right. Back on challenges. Are there any other challenges you want to highlight that you guys are facing? I know you're covering the whole of Nevis.
The whole of Nevis.
The airport.
One of our major challenges is the whole of Nevis with one municipal fire truck. That outweighs everything else. Now, I'm not sure that you know Nevis, but if something happened in Brooklyn, where Brooklyn is, I'm not sure. It takes us about 15 minutes to get there from Charlestown. Now, during that time, if you know fire is like nothing else. That starts and it gets hold to something and that takes off. Now, your house is on fire and it takes us 15 minutes to get from Charlestown to there. By the time we get there, there is nothing to save. We just have to throw water and, deal with the hot spot because there is nothing to save.
Right. But isn't there another fire department in Nevis? I thought it was 3 in total.
Yes, there is another fire station in Van Zandt, but there is no fire appliance attached to that station. That station is basically unmanned. No truck, no human resource.
Ms. Wyatt, can you hold on a minute there? We're getting some calls. I've invited the public to join in our conversation. So let's see what they have to say. All right, we lost that call, but you can always call back to join our conversation. As you were saying about the next fire station, there's no appliance, you said?
No appliance, no human resource.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You see my passion if this person would involve us or inform us about something. Because we need to know. They said no place in Nevis is far, but when it comes to fire, it is.
Yeah. It can spread quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the demographic and the population of the demographic in your district has changed a lot. How has that influenced the different types of calls you received?
As I would have indicated, most of the calls that we receive, and it's so strange, during the peak of the fire season, we were not receiving any calls for grass fires or wildland fires. It was mostly persons who are burning in the back of their yard. We're trying to get people to done this, but boy, it's a tough cookie.
I hear you. People doing as they please. Are there any particular buildings or area that apart from the high rise that you highlighted earlier, that is a challenge for you that you pay special or require special attention?
Well, I would say, if anything, those maybe like when you call it public ghetto, it's not really much of them. But those old buildings that are close together, because if one is on fire, everything gone.
Yeah. No, we just had a tropical storm pass recently, and I know that in St. Kitts we have Nemo. What's it like for you guys in Nevis, and how do you play a part or a role in that emergency community, if I can put it that way?
We get along really good with disaster office. We have a really, really good relationship. So we are informed in everything. We are a part of everything. We have a rapid intervention team, and they work along with disaster. So it goes hand in hand. We know everything that is going to happen. As a matter of fact, there is a group chat out of disaster office that we are a part of. So we get all the information every time about everything.
What about the relationship between you and the community? What's that like?
The relationship is okay. It's good. It is good. Except for the part that when somebody calls to make a report, they don't want to leave their name. But when we go out in the community, we get a good reception.
Right. Do you have like PSAs, public service announcements, in terms of prevention measures that you've seen likely to happen in Nevis to say, well, hey, this will happen a lot, and we bring some awareness to this concern?
Okay, we do have PSA, but one of the Von Radio do our fire tips. But what I want the public, there is something a trend that I am seeing. The vehicular traffic. This is for them. Because oftentimes we are going out, and I do go on the truck as well. Mm-hmm. And when we are going out, we have a lot of difficulties they getting out of the road. Like they do not respect the sirens, and so they don't move quickly enough.
Right.
You know, and I just want to appeal to the vehicular traffic. These people too, whenever they hear the siren, just give us the wherewithal to get through, because we might be going to your house and you don't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is a big challenge. They do not move. I get really annoyed. We are behind vehicle and the horn and sirens and everything, and these people just not getting out of the way.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a question for you from social media. This person wants to know if you know of any breach of Newcastle Fire Hall fence.
If there is any breach?
Yeah. They go on to say that it's known that a particular fire officer cut the fence for himself to sell alcohol and drinks.
No, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, that's...
There is no breach. The fence is totally enclosed. The property is totally enclosed.
Okay. All right. We were just receiving some calls here before we continue, Ms. White. Bear with me. I'm going to give those individuals an opportunity to get in. 465-2555. I see you were trying. You can try now. I'll wait a few seconds or so before I continue our discussion here with Ms. Wyatt out of Queen City, Nevis. All right, so we touched base on that. What about changes and improvement that you would like to see for your district?
Well, there is always room for improvement, and I really would like to see improvement. In terms of manpower, yes, we would glad for that. We welcome that. We welcome new appliances. Oh, yes, we accept that readily. Mm-hmm. Even the renovation of some of, like the Charleston Fire Station, that building needs some work. So that could be improved on, as well as the Vance Armory Station. We need to get out of that building because we have outgrown that space. That is an improvement that we're looking forward to.
All right. Ms. White, I want to thank you for your time this morning, and I will suggest you check out that claim that's coming in there from our social media, and maybe something is happening there that you need to look at and clarify and make sure that it's not happening. And if it is, do what you have to do to sanction such actions.
Yes, I will do. I will go right there this afternoon and check on it. Thank you.
No problem. And thank you for being here with us this morning and sharing some of your challenges, some of your concerns as it relates to the Nevis district.
Thank you so kindly, sir.
All right, you're most welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so that was Sergeant, right? Sergeant Wyatt?
Divisional Fire Officer.
Divisional Fire Wyatt. Okay, I have to make sure I get it correct, man. Thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning. Mr. Clark, it's a short one today. Not your usual program, but
yes,
I do understand. Your closing words, if any?
I want to thank Divisional Fire Officer Mavis White. She's the only female in our management team. We have the fire chief, the deputy, the divisional fire officer, female, and inspector, myself, fire station officer. She always bring a sense of pride, love. She has a wide range of knowledge that she brings to us, because we are young and she's much older than us. She is in the service before us. So she has this knowledge base that is vast, is a lot. We always learn from her in our meetings. And I think that Nevis is in good hands. Both stations they are in good hands. We have our ups and downs, but as we said last week, not because we don't have the resources and the manpower, we are able to perform at our best, of our abilities. So Nevis is in good hands. I want to congratulate Mr. Archibald for calling in today, and we can assure the general public in Nevis that persons feel free to visit Nevis. Can fly into Nevis. Tourism is soon to be booming. Fire department is up and ready. Anything that happens in Nevis, we will be able to respond with our well-trained officers, knowledgeable officers. So Nevis is definitely nice under the command of Divisional Fire Officer Mavis White Archibald.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching wherever you are. Don't touch that dial, man. We have some more information to share with you coming up at the top of the hour. Thinking about some gift ideas? Well, we'll hear from Icy Jewelers. That's up at 10.
This message brought to you by ZIZ and the Fire Department of St. Kitts and Nevis.
I am Woman Fire Officer Louise Clark from the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services with your safety tip for today. Keep items that can catch on fire at least 3 feet away from anything that gets hot, such as space heaters. Smoking materials can cause residential fire death. If you smoke, take precautions. Smoke outside, choose fire-safe cigarettes, never smoke in bed, when drowsy or medicated, or if anyone in the home is using oxygen.
This message was brought to you by ZIZ and the St. Kitts Nevis Fire Department.